with Elijah May, and I wanted to just take a few minutes so you get to know him a little bit and what his session's going to be about. My favorite thing about Elijah so far is he actually runs or is co-partners with a firm called the Experience Firm. So our interaction is that he gets just how big it is in your business, and especially as a solopreneur, to understand the experience. So we've got him doing a really cool little session called, well, I don't know that we've really come up with or landed the exact name of it, but it's all about those clients from hell. You know you've had them. I know I've had them. Not that many, but enough to make you just cringe a little bit when you even hear the term, right? So we're not going to just sit there and make this a, sort of a bitch fest about clients from hell. We'll share some experiences. We'll get some experiences from the audience probably. But we really want to touch on the other pieces around that. So I'm going to let you jump in and kind of share those 2 or 3 pieces.
Sure. When we talk about the clients from hell, as it were, right, there tend to be some consistencies, and those consistencies are, one, if you're taking business that maybe you shouldn't, right? But then even when you kind of get past that and you start to figure out who your ideal clients are and you start selecting a little bit better, then you get into the problem of setting expectations, right? And that's on us when we're freelancing, is to be able to figure out how to explain to clients what our process is so things don't get squirrely. Otherwise, we all know about out of scope, right? Out of scope is probably the biggest problem that we all face. Clients figure once they're paying you, well, everything that we could ever think of from here on out will, of course, be included. So setting those expectations is vital for us and for the clients. And then, last but not least, I think we're going to talk about when it comes time to let a relationship go. How are we going to handle that in such a way that doesn't damage our reputation or leave them feeling like we let them down? And sometimes that can be a very difficult line to walk, but certainly sometimes the best thing you can do is to move on from that relationship as effectively and efficiently as productively as possible.
I know an epitome that I had here over the last few years is with some of my clients from hell, which again I haven't had that many, but how many times did I train them to become that really,
Right.
really difficult client because I allowed them to call me at night and I picked up the phone, or I answered their emails in the evening, and it turned out that was something that really bugged the living daylights out of me over time, but I'm the one that told them it was okay. So, sometimes it's how we train our clients to treat us.
Yeah, and client relationships, as we've talked about before, are just like all other relationships, right? And if you say, yeah, I'll answer the phone if you call at 2 a.m., then they're going to go, great. I guess that's inbounds, right? So, and some of us, mind less than others, right? I know, especially before I was married and had kids, I'm like, I don't care what you call me, right? But things have changed a little bit, and so you've got to start to, again, it's all about those expectations and helping people understand what your professional boundaries are.
So your session is actually going to be a panel. You'll have 3 other amazing people from around Austin this time.
Absolutely.
Sitting in and sharing some of the experience and pulling in, again, some of the experience from the audience as well. So knowing that it is a panel, what would you say might be the number one takeaway that people could expect from your group's session?
Oh, what a great question. The number one takeaway. The number one takeaway is that relationships are absolutely vital to all of us as freelancers, and you've got to be able to get through, to try to create the right relationships from the start. But when you find yourself in a bad relationship, again, just like when you're in a personal situation, being able to manage that relationship, takes some tact. I think a lot of us are good at individual things, and sometimes those interpersonal things aren't at the top of our list of skills.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to help other people understand that how to value those relationships, and then B, how to manage them maybe a little bit better.
Well, this is going to tie in really well with another speaker that I'm going to do a interview with, because she's going to talk about that emotional intelligence piece, which I'm excited about.
Right.
Because I know that I have it, where you're just not having a good day, or you're just being a chick or whatever. And today I'm not good at interpersonal relationships. Normally, 95% of the time I am, but I'm in my 5% mode, and you have to learn how to do damage control.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple different people that when things get really tense, so they're high performers in high pressure situations, but the thing that like you said, the thing that goes is that interpersonal stuff, right?
Yeah.
Everything gets handled, but not in a way that makes people, feel all warm and
Yeah.
fuzzy about it. I saw that he was speaking as well. I think that's a fantastic thing to be able. That's such a great topic to be able to dig down on emotional intelligence.
I find anyway that a lot of solopreneurs, freelancers, whatever we want to call ourselves today, really let go of that piece. We're like, well, it's just me. You deal with who I am. And it's like,
Right.
I've learned over these last few years, because Mary and I have been colleagues for years, that it's like, wait a minute, I do have a responsibility here. And I just think it's going to tie in really well with what you guys are going to be talking about.
Yeah, and you become happier. When you're happier, you're more productive, so everybody wins, right?
And your clients are happier. And then you get to a
Exactly.
point where, these clients from hell, as we're calling them, even if you bring one on because they didn't look or feel like one in the beginning, you realize that they're not necessarily a client from hell. They're just the two of you don't work well together. And when you start using other pieces of what you're going to learn throughout today of making relationships with other people, like, I do some website design work, right? So I find other website designers so that when that happens, I can say, you know what? I'm really just not the best person to work with you.
Right.
I can tell you based on this person's experience. So that's also a big piece of what you guys are going to talk about too, I think.
Yeah, no, you're still taking responsibility for that relationship. They came to you and said, "Can you help me solve this problem?" You say, "Yes, I can still help you solve the problem. We're going to do it a little bit differently."
It may not be
And
my
then to be
blood, sweat, and
fair,
tears, but I
right,
will help you get to the end result.
especially the tears. Yeah, and sometimes people are just clients from hell. Some people are jerks, and that's reality.
That is.
And sometimes,
You're right.
when a jerk is looking at you and they have a check and they're holding it out, and you say, "I think I can make this work," and you kind of know that
Yes.
it's going to be tough, and sometimes it's just tougher than you think.
And there are some people out there that feed off of those people. Like, bring
Yep.
them. I don't care if they're a jerk. I can handle them. Go find that person because you need it. Because you
That's
will
true.
find.
Yeah, have one of those in
Yeah,
the
have one of
wings.
those in your pocket.
Yeah.
So, last question.
Yeah.
Why are you excited to come do this panel at the Freelance Conference?
Well, I mean, gosh, I have such a passion for freelancers because ever since I read E-Myth and they talked about how this journey of freelance and entrepreneurship is about finding that thing that you're good at and then figuring out how to apply that thing in such a way that you solve people's problems for yourself and for them. And so many of us, you go down the road to do that particular thing that you have this talent for, and then all of the other things that business requires prevent you from utilizing that talent to your full ability. And I think that the conference, just the opportunity to come together and address some of those things that all of us face that take us away from doing what we do best is, I mean, that's exciting to me on sort of a bigger picture level, right? Like, how do we all focus on making the best contribution that we can make to the world and being productive for ourselves and for our families in the process?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day today and being with us. And for those of you out there that haven't got your tickets yet for this year's Freelance Conference, it is October 28th, 2014. Go to freelanceconference.com and grab your ticket and come spend some time with us. Get to know Elijah May. He is an absolutely fabulous man, and I know that his team will be as well. So I will see you guys next month.